Each day, our global community is grappling with urgent issues like climate change, energy crisis, poverty, and gender inequality, which calls for immediate action. For every problem, there is a solution. And so, in this world of complex problems, there exists an independent organization in India's capital, Delhi, which is working tirelessly for over 20 years, finding solutions for a sustainable and inclusive development future.
Integrated Research and Action for Development, IRADe, is an institute for, as the name says, development challenges and action. Action means also solutions.
In the year 2002, the seeds of change were planted with the establishment of IRADe by a team of visionary founding members with more experts from varied fields joining the journey since then.
As we set up, we drafted its constitution and we asked the like-minded people, Dr. Mashelkar, Adi Godrej, Keshav Mahindra, Shirish Patel, and finally Dr. Manmohan Singh, who later became the Prime Minister of India, but he was that time Rajya Sabha member.
Since its inception, IRADe has worked in 5 thematic areas. That includes climate change, energy systems, urban development, agriculture and food security, poverty, and gender. The think tank's work for over more than 20 years in these crucial areas has influenced the public policy by providing integrated perspectives for sustainable, pro-poor, and inclusive development and benefited the society. IRADe's opinions and services are sought by government ministers, bilateral, multilateral, and global organizations. And most significantly, IRADe's work has had a large-scale impact in bettering lives of people of India.
Something which is very unique about the IRADe, that what we bring to the policy table is not just one perspective of the government, but we engage with the several stakeholders, right from the vulnerable communities to the policymakers at various levels. So consensus building is a very important component of our work.
To answer complex questions, you need complex tools. So we use some of the internationally developed energy system modeling tools, which deals with technical, economic, environmental aspects, and to get the results or get the answers of the related questions. And very few institutions in India use those kind of complex, sophisticated tools.
In their journey of 2 decades, IRADe has achieved remarkable milestones through its diligent application of policy research and analysis, fostering consensus through meaningful dialogues, capacity building, skill building initiatives, and rigorous monitoring and evaluation.
We have contributed many things to various departments, various disciplines, various areas of policy making. For example, the Department of Climate Change, while they were formulating what kind of commitments we should make in climate change concerns at Paris Agreement, that time we did modeling studies which helped them. Again, when I was chairing the group on working out the low carbon strategy for inclusive growth in India that was set up by the Planning Commission, and modeling work support was provided by IRADe, so we can have a whole holistic understanding of what can be done.
IRADe has played an important role in shaping India's climate policies. As a member of NATCOM and INCCA, IRADe contributes significantly to climate change issues, advocating mitigation, reducing CO2 emissions, adaptation, enhancing resilience, and engaging in climate negotiations with other nations. As a trusted partner to the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, IRADe provided vital support to India for the historic Paris Agreement.
With this COP negotiation, the government of India was also looking for inputs of what kind of stand it needs to take in different COP thing vis-a-vis the other countries, and that made modeling of emissions, future emission pathways, what would be India's emissions under various scenarios of that very important.
Each year, Indian cities are facing increasing heat waves and destructing floods, endangering millions of lives annually. As a center of excellence in urban development and climate change, designated by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, IRADe has worked with 32 cities across 19 states, conducting rapid vulnerability assessments to integrate climate and disaster resilience policies and plans of the governments of India and South Asia. Using GIS and remote sensing tools, they empower planners and decision makers with city disaster management strategies and resilience action plans. The guidelines that IRADe developed for disaster resilience in the cities are being adapted for Smart City Framework of the Government of India. In the dynamic energy sector in India, IRADe's meticulous analysis and nuanced perspectives have aided policymakers navigate the complex terrain of energy policy decisions.
In around after 2010, when the prices of oil started rising and the fiscal burden to subsidize that also started rising, and we did a very analytical work was presented to the government, and we showed that there may be a short-term inflation, but there is a long-term gain to the economy. Minister Dharmendra Pradhan came to release our report, and he had a lot of good words to say about the report.
IRADe has been an active partner supporting India's Sustainable Development Goals 2030.
In the long run, India has no option but to go for renewable energy such as solar power and so on. And that's when a suggestion was made that the solar mission was started.
Government of India sees green hydrogen as an important option for addressing India's energy security and to deal with decarbonization issues.
IRADe continues its journey through engaging with South Asian countries and USAID to enable electricity trade in one of the least connected regions in the world. 10 years of extensive engagement with the governments, policymakers, think tanks, and citizen representatives has led to the electricity trade growing many-fold, enabling economic growth in the region. IRADe's impactful efforts extend beyond India.
IRADE began its SARI program in 2012 and helped build consensus about the mutual benefits of power trade among South Asian countries. Nepal and Bhutan can exploit the substantial potential of hydropower with demand from India and Bangladesh. This would completely and substantially change the trajectory of growth and development.
SARI stands for South Asia Regional Initiative in Energy Integration. Basically, what it did was to do consensus building among the South Asian nations, mainly Bhutan, Bangladesh, India, Nepal and Sri Lanka, for regional energy cooperation. It results in optimal utilization of power assets in the whole South Asia region.
We work in this on consensus building with many stakeholders in the energy sector. IRADe worked with an aim to strengthen institutions, market approaches, while building capacity in these areas. In particular, IRADe brought much needed clarity on regulatory issues, particularly those in the energy sector. It is worth noting that regional trade has gone up from 4 terawatt hours 20 years ago to 22 terawatt hours now. ADB is currently working with IRADe to strengthen the grid connectivity within the BIMSTEC region.
They brought people into the room and just got them talking about the possibilities of cooperation. So as an example, Nepal meeting with government of India and Bangladesh, all three countries working together recently. That has opened up the possibility now of trade of clean hydropower between Nepal and Bangladesh.
IRADE's impact transcends the realms of government policies and international affairs, delving deeply into comprehensive engagement with diverse stakeholders. The Institute's multifaceted approach encompasses educational outreach through capacity building workshops held at prestigious universities and institutions, extensive field surveys conducted at grassroots level, and the facilitation of focused group discussions.
Looking at IRADE itself, I want to speak about the leadership. So both Jyoti Parekh and Kirak Parekh are extremely well respected in academic circles and in government circles, both having been engaged in the past and internationally. They're well known and well respected. They also hire well.
IRADE's exceptional journey of more than 2 decades has garnered trust and recognition on both national and international fronts.
To attain trust of so many people, 11 ministries and so many bilateral people, USAID, UKAID, GIZ, and MacArthur Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, all of these people trust us and academically it's Stanford University, we are going to University of California, San Diego. So people are trusting us from global to local area.
In 2023, a momentous occasion in the pursuit of sustainable energy solutions, IRADE hosted a highly successful T20 G20 hybrid workshop on challenges and opportunities of sustainable energy transition in New Delhi. For over 2 decades, IRADE's unwavering dedication has shaped policies, driven reforms, and left an indelible mark on the journey towards a sustainable world.
And I'm very happy that their contribution is now acknowledged by the governments in various countries. Policymakers are implementing their ideas and try to put together a response to such ideas by way of framing the right frame of implementation ideas that government is doing it.
There is a big sense of satisfaction, and many things we were working earlier, how relevant they were then also, and now new things are also would be relevant 10, 15, 20 years from now. I hope people will remember us. So that is.